Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
So we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 7, Chapter 10, and today we have text number 11.
11, yes.
Sri Bhagavan Vacha.
Sri Bhagavan Vacha.
Naikantino.
Naikantino.
Me. Mai. Jatu. Iha. Ashisha. Asasate. Amutra. Cha. Ye. Bhavapida. Tatapi. Manvantaram. Etat. Atra. Daitya Ishvaranam. Anubhungshva. Bhoga. Sri Bhagavan Vacha. Naikantino me maijatvat hasisha.
Naikantino me maijatu hasisha.
Naikantino me maijatvahi vihasisha.
Naikantino me maijatu hasisha.
Asasate mutra chaye bhavadvida.
Asasate mutra chaye bhavadvida.
Asasate mutra chaye bhavadvida.
Asasate mutra chaye bhavadvida.
Tatapi manvantaram etadatra.
Tatapi manvantaram etadatra.
Tatapi manvantaram etadatra.
Tatapi manvantaram etadatra.
Daityesvaranam anubhungshva bhoga.
Daityesvaranam anubhungshva bhogan.
Daityesvaranam anubhungshva bhoga.
Daityesvaranam anubhungshva bhogan.
Sri Bhagavan Vacha.
Sri Bhagavan Vacha.
Naikantino me maijat vihasisa.
Naikantino me maijat vihasisa.
Asasate mutra chaye bhavadvida.
Asasate mutra chaye bhavadvida.
Tatapi manvantaram etadatra.
Tatapi manvantaram etadatra.
Daityesvaranam anubhungshva bhoga.
Daityesvaranam anubhungshva bhogan. Sri Bhagavan Vacha.
Sri Bhagavan Vacha.
Naikantino me maijat vihasisa.
Naikantino me maijat vihasisa.
Asasate mutra chaye bhavadvida.
Asasate mutra chaye bhavadvida.
Tatapi manvantaram etadatra.
Tatapi manvantaram etadatra.
Daityesvaranam anubhungshva bhogan.
Daityesvaranam anubhungshva bhogan. Sri Bhagavan Vacha.
Sri Bhagavan Vacha.
Naikantino me maijat vihasisa.
Naikantino me maijat vihasisa.
Asasate mutra chaye bhavadvidaha.
Asasate mutra chaye bhavadvida.
Tatapi manvantaram etadatra.
Tatapi manvantaram etadatra.
Daityesvaranam anubhungshva bhogan.
Daityesvaranam anubhungshva bhogan.
Sri Bhagavan Vacha.
Sri Bhagavan Vacha.
The Supreme Personality of Godhead said,
The Supreme Personality of Godhead said,
Na,
Na,
not
Ekantina, unalloyed,
without desires, except for the one desire, for devotional service, may from me, Mai, unto me, Jatu, anytime, Iha, within this material world, Ashisha, benedictions, Asasate, intent desire, Amudra, in the next life, Cha, and Ye, all such devotees who, Bhavad-vida, like you, Tatapi, still, Manvantaram, the duration of the time until the end of the life of one Manu. Etat, this, Atra, within this material world, Daita Ishvaranam, of the opulences of materialistic persons, Anubhungshva, you can enjoy, Bhoga, all material opulences. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. And please repeat with me the translation. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, My dear Prahlad, a devotee like you, never desires any kind of material opulences, either in this life, or in the next. Nonetheless, I order you to enjoy the opulences of the demons. In this material world, acting as their king, until the end of duration of time, occupied by Manu. Purport, please hear. One Manu lives for a duration of time calculated to be an aggregate of 71 yuga cycles, each of which equals 4,300,000 years. Although atheistic men like to enjoy material opulences, and they endeavor with great energy to build big residences, roads, cities and factories, unfortunately they cannot live more than 80, 90 or at the utmost 100 years. Although a materialist exerts so much energy to create a kingdom of hallucinations, he is unable to enjoy it for more than a few years. However, because Prahlad Maharaj was a devotee, the Lord allowed him to enjoy material opulence as the king of the materialists. Prahlad Maharaj had taken birth in the family of Hiranyakashipu, who was the topmost materialist, and since Prahlad was the bona fide heir of his father, the Supreme Lord allowed him to enjoy the kingdom created by his father for so many years that no materialist could calculate them. A devotee does not have to desire material opulence, but if he is a pure devotee, there is ample opportunity for him to enjoy material happiness also, without personal endeavor. Therefore, everyone is advised to take to devotional service under all circumstances. If one desires material opulence, he can also become a pure devotee, and his desires will be fulfilled. It is stated in Srimad Bhagavatam, 10. Akama sarva kama va moksha kama udaradi tivrena bhakti yogena prayeta purushanam. Whether one desires everything or nothing, or whether he desires to merge into the existence of the Lord, he is intelligent only if he worships Lord Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, by rendering transcendental loving service. Om Gyanati Vinandasya Vinandana Salakaya Chaksuram Nidamena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Read the translation again. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, "My dear Prahlad, a devotee like you never desires any kind of material opulences, either in this life or in the next. Nonetheless, I order you to enjoy the opulences of the demons in this material world, acting as their king until the end of the duration of time occupied by Manu." So, I find this quite interesting that Prahlad Maharaj has just stated that, "Lord, please don't tempt me with material opulences. You offered me benediction, whatever I would like, I can ask, but I don't want to ask anything material of you, because there's no need for that in our relationship. Like that, I have no interest in asking you of anything." So he only asks that the material desire will never come up in his heart. Basically, that's the benediction he asks. So it is quite interesting that even though this is stated, then the Lord offers him the opulence of rulership of the demons. And the demons, the part of the universe where the demons reside, for the duration of time occupied by Manu, which Prabhupada states here is a very, very long time. So you can see this is not unusual also, because we have the story of Dhruva Maharaj, where Dhruva Maharaj, even though at the end of his practice, of his prescribed practice, which was given to him by Narada Muni, then he became completely pure, completely free of any material desire which he may have had at the beginning of his practice, and he attains the darshan of the Lord, and explains that he doesn't want anything. Now that I've seen you, everything is complete, I'm completely satisfied. Nevertheless, the Lord offers him the rulership of his own planet, the pole star, for also a considerable amount of time. I can't remember the exact, if it's to the end of the universe, exact time span, but it is similar. A very, very long time. So this Prabhupada, he says that a devotee, he attains material opulences quite naturally, and many devotees, they attain great material opulence, like Sudama Vipra. He attained his hut became, after he visited Krishna and Dwaraka and he came back, his hut became transformed into a big palace, to a great palace, with so many maidservants, so many servants and so on. So, and there in that story of Sudama Vipra, it's mentioned that he engaged all this opulence in the service of the Lord. So a devotee, a pure devotee, he is not harmed by material opulence because he knows how to engage it in the service of the Lord. But what we find that if we're not mature enough to handle material opulence, what happens is that that material opulence becomes harmful to us. So there we may have it that the Lord, He will take it away. like if a devotee, he gets material opulence, but he cannot handle it, he doesn't properly administer it, then what's happened, the Lord, he sees that, and he knows that this is not going to work, so he just takes away the opulence. So we see that the Lord may give material opulence, he may also take away material opulence, but he's always watching, how is this being engaged? Is this beneficial or not beneficial? If it's not beneficial, take it away. If it is beneficial, maintain it or give even more. Like that. So we shouldn't desire, like a devotee doesn't desire material opulence. He simply desires one thing, to serve the Lord. And as long as the devotee is in this consciousness, then naturally material opulence they will come, because it's a funny thing. Like if you don't want something, that thing becomes attracted to you. But if you want something, it doesn't go so easily. You have to, you have to struggle to get it. But if you don't want it, it's a funny enough, you get it. It comes to you. It comes like after you. So we see Prabhupada, he didn't want anything. He wasn't out to get something. He didn't invest his mental, he didn't invest his energy to achieve anything material. As such, he only did, as when you can see the Lord, we can see where actually Prabhupada was about. Because his only desire was to please the Lord in whatever he did. That was the essence of Srila Prabhupada, and he never deviated from that. And still, you see so much opulence came, without him having desire for any particular kind of opulence. That this must be there at all costs. No, it wasn't like that. There was always with the Lord in mind and in vision, that the Lord should be pleased by such endeavor. And that is how a devotee, he automatically gets opulence. And he doesn't try to reject it or cast it away, because he's always just trying whatever he has, whatever he does, whatever situation he's in, he's just trying to please the Lord, that's all. And he's so expert, he's so daksha, that he knows how to do that without fail. And therefore, the devotee, he can attain practically almost unlimited opulence if the Lord so desires. So that's the difference between a pure devotee who's expert, he can handle a lot of material opulence, while a practicing devotee may not be able to handle so much material opulence, because she gets proud, we get, okay, I have so much material opulence at my command, I can move around things, or I have so much fame now, people know me, people respect me, now I'm really famous, I'm a really great person, like that, and pride creeps in. And then we forget Krishna, we forget about satisfying Krishna, and just see the pride, just see our own, just get intoxicated by our own pride, and that doesn't work, that's because that's not palatable to the Lord, that's not pleasing to the Lord, nor anyone else for that matter. So then it may be taken away. So the lesson here is that we should always simply know that we are Divya Swarupa Hoy, Krishna Nityadas, that we are always the eternal servant of the Lord, and the essential function of the servant is simply to render pleasing service to the Lord. And as long as we never forget this, then the Lord may be pleased to give practically unlimited material opulence, at his, according to his desire. So therefore, everyone is advised to take the devotional service under all circumstances. And the verse is quoted here, Akama Sarva Kama Va, Moksha Kama Udharadi Tivrena Bhakti Yogena Yayeta Purusham Param. Because even if you may have material desires, like they may be there, but if we are properly explained about the process of pure devotional service, and it's all about pleasing the Lord, and we engage in such service under the direction of the spiritual master, then in the course of time we will know that it's not about the material opulences. The material opulence doesn't make us happy. None of it. Even the wealth or the fame, any of it, ultimately it doesn't satisfy us because it's not under our control. It's a temporary thing. Material assets in this world, it is characterized by that it is temporary. And this is what Prabhupada, he explains here in the purport, in the first paragraph. He says that although atheistic men like to enjoy material opulences, and they endeavor with great energy to build big residences, roads, cities and factories, unfortunately they cannot live more than 80, 90 or at the utmost 100 years. Although the materialist exerts so much energy to create a kingdom of hallucinations, he is unable to enjoy it for more than a few years. So this is the actual tattva, this is the fact that whatever we may desire to enjoy in this material world, like if one is tattva darshana, one sees it has a beginning and an end. So this satisfaction will derive from this type of enjoyment. It will end. It will end for very sure with this material body, if not before. So one sees that there is maybe some happiness now, but it's going to be followed by distress. It is not going to stay in a mode of happiness. By doing this, we're not going to stay in a mode of enjoyment. We're going to arrive at a mode of suffering. So one who has seen, one who's tattva darshana, one whose eyes is trained in knowledge, transcendental knowledge, he can see it very well. So therefore he knows by intelligence, why should I invest myself in this? It will, at the end, the end result will be suffering, and it will be a useless result. So why to put my energy into something which would eventually end up as useless and worthless? So that is actually the understanding why a transcendentalist, he doesn't invest himself to chase madly after some material opulence. He knows that better to use this little energy I have at my disposal, use that to gain everlasting benefit, to get a permanent asset. And that permanent asset, we know, is offered by taking to devotional service. Whatever we do in devotional service, that asset is protected by the Lord, and it is guaranteed by the Lord. Whatever advancement we are able to make in this life in devotional service, He protects that and makes sure